Hello, how are you? Welcome to Mindspace once again. And this program has brought a lot of changes to people. Many people are learning from what we are doing here, and we are looking more to enlighten people on many matters, especially around investments, around life, about family life, basically everything about life. And most important today, we have a guest, a very special guest. We'll be talking money, besha. Eh? Pesa. Kila mtu anatafuta pesa. Everybody wants money. So now, after getting this money, what do you do with it? So today, we are with our guest here, David Mwangi, who will be talking to us about matters finance. And thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to hosting you more and more.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Asante sana mheshimiwa. That's how they call you outside here. I don't know whether you know that. They also call you, they say you have a lot of money. So I don't know.
I wish. Wananiombea mazuri pengine.
Wanakuombea mazuri.
Mashallah.
Mashallah. Yes. My name is David Mwangi. Let me introduce myself, then at least we can continue. I'm an engineer by profession. And then I did my master's in entrepreneurship. That is where now I came to learn properly about finance and the issues that run around. Because, without finance, even if you're a degree holder, utakuwa tu town ukizunguka.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I am an expert in empowering the youth, matters finance, empowering the youth, matters business ideas, empowering the youth, matters of advice, and watu wakuwe na kitu kwa mfuko, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
Kila mtu anataka kakitu.
Hii politics yenye tulikuwa nayo, kila mtu anakuambia atakupatia 6,000, wewe mwingine anakuambia atakupatia loan. The issue is the money. How much money do you have in the pocket, and how much money can you retain in your pocket?
Okay.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
And I would ask, please, if you have any questions, matters finance. Today we have an expert here, David Mwangi, who will be giving us expert advice on matters finance. Ask all your questions regarding finance on the link below. Please don't forget to do that. So,
yes,
David, what inspired you to go into finance? Why not construction? Why not border? Why not other things?
Basically, I grew up in Nakuru, like any other kid will grow up in primary, high school, university. We went there. But there was one question that I kept asking myself.
Yes.
I kept asking myself, number one, if I finish university, what is next?
Yes.
I've been told to read, get a job. That is where the system tells you read, get a job. It doesn't tell you create employment. It doesn't tell you how to control your finances. It doesn't tell you how to invest. It doesn't tell you where to get capital. The business studies that we read, you being one of them, it is very shallow. It doesn't give you the exact things that are happening in the world right now. So it will just tell you, you read. But after that, what do you do next? So that was my question. So I did environment. I'm an environment person, apparently. Then I decided environment without business doesn't make sense. Because it is basically, when you talk about environment, we go to climate change. Those are the issues that we deal with. You can only be employed. That is the main part. So I had to think, what other idea can I bring into use so that at least I employ myself and I'm able also to sustain other human beings whereby I employ them. That is basically what. And now you will have that as a challenge in this country, because most of us go to school, we wait for employment. It doesn't happen. Yes, you have to think beyond that. So I had to think about creating employment, and that is what should be taught in the universities and in the high schools.
Okay.
Yes.
So in short, we need more job creators.
Yes, we need more job creators, Mr. You understand, Mr. Ranila. We have zero in Kenya, for example, below the age of 35. We have about 10% of job creators. University students who have graduated, and you can understand that gap. It is too big, such that if we don't talk about it right now, we'll have a problem in the future. A big problem.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. And of course, I know in our curriculum, we are not taught matters finance, matters investment, and stuff like that.
Yes.
So financial literacy is low in Kenya.
Yes.
Am I correct on that
Yes,
one?
we call it is about 10%.
Yes.
10%. In fact, I was thinking when this government took charge, I was thinking people like the Minister of Education, Mr. Mwenda, would come through and look at the curriculum. The curriculum doesn't have finance. Let me also mention something of finance. It doesn't have mental health issues.
Yes.
It doesn't have what we call etiquette and ethics. Doesn't have, those are the basics.
Okay.
And in other countries like Japan,
Yes.
I've been to Japan several times,
Yes.
you find that there they deal with first ethics, and number two, they deal with finance. Matters finance, you already know. You'll be taught how to use what you have
Yes.
and not to use what you don't have.
Okay.
Because you cannot spend what you don't have, Mr. Mwenda. So you find that most of us, even now, because we never learned, we spend what we don't have. You'll find someone, you earn 50,000, you have a loan of 3 million. That 3 million, how will you finance it?
Yes.
That is the question. And that's why you'll find most Kenyans are not eligible to go to other countries like Canada, America. Why? They ask you for the finance statement, you have nothing.
Yes.
So what Kenyans do, they go get a finance statement done,
River Road.
in River Road, you know. And then when you go to the US Embassy, unapigwa ile ya, I think ni purple ama ni ya yellow. Unaambiwa 5 years.
Denied.
Yes, denied, straight.
Yes.
So those are the challenges sometimes that we have. But it basically starts from the education system.
Okay.
It is a big issue. The government can deal with it. We should have people learning not only business, but how to create money, how to create employment. This issue of our leaders going abroad to look for jobs for Kenyans, it should not be like that. It should be Kenyans looking for jobs for other Kenyans.
Ah, okay. Kenyans employing
Other Kenyans. And I'll talk maybe to a few people who, if you've graduated from the university, we were taught to be managers. We were not taught to work for people. And if we were taught to work for people, we were taught to work for people at a senior level.
Yes.
It is high time we think of a business idea, think of something that you can do, employ someone even as in the side hustle, and that will assist. Because you find that we are all fighting for the same space. Which space? The space of employment. Umeenda shule, yes. Ujaenda shule, we are all fighting for the same vacancies. So that's why you'll find a master's student fighting for a vacancy, whereby a technical student is also fighting for the same.
Yes.
You understand that? And now you'll find most of the master's students, because they were trained to manage, hawatakuwa hands-on.
Yes.
If today, for example, Mr. Mwenda, I ask you, how long does it take for you to get a plumber?
For me, of course, since I have the network and I'm in the industry, it's just a phone call
away. It's just a phone call away.
Yes.
But imagine Kenya has very few plumbers.
Yes.
And I'm very sure your plumber is very expensive.
Yes.
Because they know they're not available.
Yes.
So those are the conversations that we should be having right now.
Is Tibet not sorting that out?
Tibet sort that out. But since they were just empowered the other day, they cannot sort that fully.
Okay.
Yes, we still have a very big shortage.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Hold on to that thought. I see you have a lot of experience in this, and we look forward to good engagement.
Yes.
Of course, I've seen there are many people who are online. Let me give a shout out to a few. Jenga Wamokami, karibu sana. Shabish Chataji, karibu sana. Karo Kiambi, Mboro Anthony, Sunil Sunishani, Adiel Mugambi, Kind Agencies. Hey, you are a great viewer of ours. Nakuona ukua Kisumu kaka. Ochieng Ogembo, Simon King, Georges from Isiolo, I see you. Ronald Hood, Molly, Kemboi wa Umoja, and many more. So please remember, thank you for watching, and come. Your questions are very important. If you have questions, matters, finance, today we have an expert who will explain to us how to work our finances better, how to prioritize, how to budget, and how to invest and manage our investment even better. So we'll be right back. We'll take questions from you. And personally, I have a lot of questions for David. I want to know, when he went to politics, was that a wise investment? We'll come to that. So we'll be right back.
Thank you.
My name is Anne from Mindspace Properties.
Nikakaribisha na hiki tu nikidhani watu wanapima weight, na kumbe wadosi hawatuangi viatu. Wana wrap footwear. Ana kanikaribisha akaanza kunipatia tours. Nikapatana na mkubwa wa hapa. Huku kumbe inaitwa Sunpark. Unaishi kama mdosi. Sasa huku Sunpark wamejenga manyumba smart. Ni nyumba yako lakini unaishi ni kama huku kwa hotel. Mama yo. Na hii sio 12 star hotel. Ni nyumba tu unachukua unaishi ndani. Ona mpaka iko na balcony. Na unaona bado wanajenga. Yenyewe hii ni luxury living. Unaona usuri ya pesa. Na ujue unaweza lipa kidogo. About this.
Yes.
Naona ile pesa tulikuwa tuna savings kwa bank.
My goodness. What?
Naona tununue nyumba.
What? Those are savings.
Pesa inaishi kwa bank, sisi tunaishi nje.
I am lecturing.
Na ujue bado wanajenga. Ona vile ndani inakaa. Wako na 3 na 1 bedroom pia. Kuona ni bure. Na hii ni ndani tu. Nje ujue pia wako na gym. Wanajenga swimming pool. Haki pesa wewe nikikusika. Nashika nyumba. Na washika nyinyi wote wawili. Ona hii ni bedroom. Ona. Lolo mama yu Nyasai ubura. Ndio maana huku inaitwa Sunpark. Ni kusign tu. Maisha London huku si Ukimau yawa. Na waliniambia tu unatoa 20% alafu hiyo ingine unaweza lipa kidogo na ngojeni kidogo. Otisi ile kulipa pole ya nyumba inaitwango aje?
Nini mortgage?
Mortgage. Wewe unaweza lipa na hiyo mortgage. Hizo unit ya orange ni watu wasachukua, watu wanachukua yawa. After kuona nikasai nayo. About this.
Why were you wrestling?
Hakuna kugombana. Sisi nagombana.
Then why are you wrestling?
Na mimi nasikia.
Thank you. Welcome back. So, David.
Yes.
People have a lot of misconceptions about personal finance.
Yes.
What are some of the common misconceptions people have?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll mix Swahili and English. Because dawa hapa. Lazima tusikizane. The first misconception of personal finance is unavailability. Whereby, or let me say inaccessibility. That is the best word I can use. Most people believe they cannot access finances, whereby they fear even to approach the financial institutions. And I'll give you an example. During my Kibaki's time, you were young. very young, as we were still in primary school.
Yes.
People from the bank used to come with papers. They ask you guys to fill for loans.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
They come to your mother, they come to your father, they ask you guys fill for loans. Those loans, I don't know whether they were secured or not. I cannot remember. But things changed. I think things, what were na pesa chapa mob sana ya bank by then. Then that story died. And then after that, now we came to Ru's time, whereby now banks, people didn't pay the loans, so the banks came after the people, and so much items and properties were taken. And now, most of the people our age, that is below 30, have a story, like me have a story, of being ile kuchoto. Things were taken from the house as you're young.
Yes.
So we have that. That is one. That is like trauma. So that's what I always say. So there are two things. There's one that people think it's inaccessible to get a loan. Number two, people think because something happened that was wrong, because a loan was taken somewhere, they have that childhood trauma about financing. Whereby they don't look at the first world countries, everyone lives on loan. In the US, in Dubai, everywhere in this world, people live on loans, on credit, because credits are loans. You cannot differentiate a credit and a loan. It is one and the same thing. So those are the two biggest misconceptions. The other misconception is whereby friends discourage other friends to pick loans. So that is also another way. And it is very hard for you to see people conversing in between friends, pale wakiwa base, pale wakiwa kazini, on how loans have helped them. Very few Kenyans will do that. So mtu ena anachukua kalon kake, anaficha story, maisha inaendelea. So we have also that misconception whereby people don't want to advise others, and so it makes the financial literacy very low. Very low in this country.
Wow.
Yes.
And how important is it to have a financial plan? And what are the content of a good financial planning?
Okay. Let us start where we've stopped. First, Kenyans should know having a loan is not a death sentence. As long as you service the loan, how you're supposed to serve it, that is first what you're supposed to do. I've started from back kidogo. And you have to understand that these are not the times of our mothers, whereby people are taking plots, unapeleka ploti mzima, title deed, you're given a loan, the loan is I don't know what percent you're unable to pay, they pick it. I think right now we have basically the financial institutions are a bit lenient, whereby even you can pick a loan, you're unable to service it, you go to another financial institution, they give you a loan, you top up this other loan, and you continue paying the other loan. But now we also need something we call discipline. Most Kenyans are not disciplined. You will take your loan, instead of investing on whatever you're investing, utaenda kulipa mahari. Utachukua loan, utaenda kama mimi ufanye nayo campaign. Those are not investments.
Okay.
Those are not investments. They're not viable. Yes.
Okay. Okay, what are some of the strategies for building wealth and achieving financial independence?
Okay. As we said, we need to start it from back. We need to start it from the primary school, our curriculum. That's where we need to start it from.
Okay.
We need to change the mentality of our students. Our kids should be making money as young as they are. Let them know life is about value, adding value to something. If today you have a pen, you sell it to your neighbor, that is value addition. That's not value addition, that is change of value. Value addition is whereby you assemble something from scratch and make it. So let them understand it's about making an extra coin. It might be little, but also we need that training. You'll find in countries like in Europe and such countries, the kids learn early. I'll even give an example of Kenya, whereby we have what we call family businesses. Kids start very early, whereby utapata mtoto wa mwindi mwenye anakuzia, for example, nguo. That kid is so young. Na anaanza kukurudishia change, he can not even calculate how much he has made. By the end of the month, he'll also get a salary like the workers. So they begin early, they train early. So if you train early, you are able to exempt yourself from so much pressure. You're able to exempt yourself from this old, when you want to learn business, like now us, you employed first, umefanya kazi for another 30 years, uko 55. 55 una retire. You want to start a business, Mr. Mwenda. You cannot. People who started businesses at 16 years are like 30, 40 times ahead of you. You cannot
Catch up, yeah.
You cannot catch up. So that's what you need for us to do.
Okay.
When you have that type of education, people now, what watafungua macho.
Okay.
Then from then, we can go now to the strategies. The strategies, number one, we have 4 steps when we talk about wealth creation.
Yes.
We have the plan. You need a plan. The plan, that is a business idea. On the business idea, we have what do you want to do, what product do you want to sell.
Yes.
That is why we look at the market. That's why we look at the product. That's why we look at the chain, how you will be distributing your product from the production to the consumption area. That is number one. Number two, now we can talk about capitation. Now capitation, hapo ndio tumesema, people have 2 challenges. That is trauma and thinking that loans are not accessible. Then thinking that the loans are inaccessible. Now, when you have a plan, you need a plan that you can convince a financier to give you their money. It is not easy. You will not go walk to the bank, tell someone, I want to, nataka kuweka kuku. This is my, nipeni loan nieke, nitawarudisha pesa yenu. You need a solid and a good plan whereby the financier will be able to see the money that is offering to you, haitapotea. But Kenyans are very casual. They don't read a lot. They don't write a lot. So they want to walk in the bank and be given money. They don't want to think beyond these stories that the bankers always have had. The bank has always had about farming, about everything. But you need to show them an extra effort that you can do to make their money go back. Because every bank wants a return on the investment that they're making. Then number 3, after that we've talked about, number 1, the plan. Number 2, capitation. Number 3, we talk about now doing the business itself. Now actualization, that is number 3. Actualization in a business needs your time. A business that is not 5 years old, trust me, Mr. Mwenda, you have to work more than 14 hours a day. A businessman, me, I'm a businessman. I tell my friends I sleep for 5 hours, they don't believe. Because in a business, whether you are sleeping or you're not, your bills add. Today, if it's Sunday, you still pay your people. Of course. Whether they work or they don't work. And you have to think, how will you get the money, pay them, and have your profit? So a business that is less than 5 years old, let us agree with one together that we have to work extra. And you cannot be an entrepreneur who wants to manage the workers and you don't work, and it is not even 5 years old. You have to toil, do what they're doing, and understand the struggles that they understand. Those are the 4 strategies that I can assist people in wealth making. Yes.
Okay, we have a question here from Vanessa Magiri. I know you. Can a foreigner get a mortgage to buy a property in Kenya?
Okay. Basically, it depends with the company that is giving the mortgage. I don't think there's a problem with that. As long as also they are able to service the loan with the financial institution that the mortgage provider uses. So I don't think that will have a problem. Other financial institutions insist that you have to have a company that has a local person, so you can pay through that company. Yeah, basically most of the financial providers deal with that issue.
They offer foreigners mortgages and loans.
Yes. Because now you find a foreigner cannot. You live in Dubai. You're not a Kenyan. For you to access a loan in Kenya, definitely you have to have an account. Definitely you have to have
a PIN,
a KRA PIN. You need to have that. So you cannot access as an individual. But as a company, I would always advise start a company. Welcome Kenya, at least in the investment in the business. Also, that person who is a Kenyan, let them be in the business so that if you're unable to pay, they can also assist on the same. Yes.
All right, good. So there's a question, of course, which is, especially from a finance expert, I would like to know, what does financial financial freedom mean to you?
Okay. That is a very hard question. Because everyone has their own way of describing financial freedom.
Yes.
Financial freedom, the lower people in the society will describe financial freedom as money to eat, money to have shelter, and money to have clothing. Those are three basic needs.
Yes.
For those people, I won't say they're poor, but I'll say the low in the society, they will describe that as satisfaction, whereby they're okay with that. You'll find out for the middle class, for them, the financial satisfaction is driving a car, living in uptown, having maybe 1 or 2 employees to look after their children. For them, that is financial freedom. The rich, I don't think the rich have even financial freedom. They're always running up and about. They don't even have any time they'll attain financial freedom. But what I can say as an expert, financial freedom is whereby you are able to sustain yourself without working, Mr. Mwenda,
Without working?
Without working for 100 days.
Okay.
Yes. If you can sustain yourself without working for 100 days, that is financial freedom.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So making money while you're sleeping.
Yes, that is what you're saying. Making money when you're sleeping.
Okay.
Yes.
On my end, I will differ a little bit.
What did you say?
Okay, financial freedom. Since, I mean, finance is part of life.
Yes.
No matter what age you get into, you still need finance to buy medicine, to buy this and that. So, I mean, it's a life cycle. To me, financial freedom is having the ability to make money again and again. Let me give you an example. For example, God forbid, if Kenya was to go to war today, and let's say we have to go to be refugees somewhere in Tanzania or something.
Yes.
How long will it take you to be in that position again? So to me, I look at it more of a mindset. Yes.
For example, let me ask you. We had COVID.
Yes.
What is the percentage of Kenyans, according to your description, how many Kenyans have financial freedom?
Of course, very few. Very, very few. And of course, there's something else I would like to, a point I would like to put across to you. A question.
Yes.
If, for example, all the money of the world was collected.
Yes.
From, let's say, Saudi, from South Africa, all over the world.
Yes.
And put together and shared equally to everybody in the world.
Yes.
What do you think will happen in the next 5 years?
Let me answer you that.
Yes.
And I will answer you in a very simple way. Today we have Kenyans accessing, for example, 100,000 each.
Yes.
As a loan. 100,000. Let's talk about 100,000.
Yes.
If today all Kenyans were given 100,000, Mr. Mwenda, 100 only.
Yes.
Do you know in that 100,000, there's someone in 1 week they won't have a shilling?
Yes, of course.
There's another one, the 100,000. In 3 months, 4 months, it will be 500,000.
Yes, correct.
There's another one who will go put his 100,000 in the bank, wait until you say it is time to look at your investments.
Yes.
That one will have maybe 10%
Yes.
because of the bank interest rates.
Okay.
It is the same as the Bible story.
Yes.
The Bible story says people are given talents.
Yes.
Others took them to
buried them.
Others buried them.
Yes.
Others replicated them.
Yes.
I don't know whether the others took to.
Yes.
It is the same.
Yes.
If everyone was given, if all the money was collected in this world, I will tell you that, and everyone was given an equal share,
Yes.
the rich would still be rich.
Okay, actually, you know what will happen?
Mentality.
In 5 years, the money will have gone to the people who had it.
Yes. That is true. That's true. That is true. It will go back to
the people who had it.
So I agree with this about mentality.
Mentality, mindset, and the ability.
Yes, and the ability.
Yes.
Clearly.
Good. So I have a question from Bernard Otieno.
Yes.
What does the banks look at while giving loans to a business that is a few months old?
Okay.
Yeah, for a new business.
For a new business,
Yes.
only 2 things.
Yes.
They look at the projections that you have.
Yes.
That's why I said Kenyans don't read and Kenyans don't write.
Yes.
If today you ask any Kenyan, you started a business, where is the business proposal?
Yes.
They have not written anything down.
Yes.
It's about putting up a business, trying kubahatisha, seeing how things will work. And that is where the challenge, whereby banks are not able even to give people money, you have nothing to show. The business is, let's say, 5 months old. It's a very young business. You need some top up.
Yeah.
The question is, what do you have to show for the business?
Yes.
For example, if the business is 5 months old, probably the highest probability it is still running on debt. Because most businesses are able to return after a year, probably. That is the normal turnaround time. So if this guy has a debt currently, banks may overlook. Most banks will not touch that business. Why? Because the more they add the money, they fear the more the money will get lost. So what he needs to do, have a proper business plan, plan early, and then have stages of the business plan. You're able to show you needed an initial amount of 50,000. After 6 months, you also needed another top up of maybe 100,000 to expand maybe the shop. You needed maybe 200,000 to expand if it is the chicken area, you need 200,000. If it is export, you needed another 1 million to export your goods and facilities. That is now how banks should operate with people. But most of us don't write that.
Okay.
Yes, tunachukua pesa, tunaongeza kwa biashara kienyeji.
Okay.
Yes.
So, of course, now, with the banks, I know most of the parts. When you go to a bank to apply a loan, especially, actually, anybody applying a loan,
Yes.
you start from zero. You will not pay. So you prove yourself upwards.
Yes.
That I'll pay.
Yes.
That's why no wonder they say the bank is like the person who gives you an umbrella after the rain stops.
Yes. They give you after the rain stops. They ask you for their statement.
Yes.
So that means you must have saved with them,
Hey.
put your money, removed your money, so that they can offer you something. Unfortunately.
Yes. Wow.
It's unfortunate, but it is the only way.
Yes.
Yeah, it is the only way. Banks don't operate with emotions. They don't operate with, please help me. They don't do that.
Yeah.
They operate with, what is the business idea?
Yeah.
What is in your mind? That is how they deal with the issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, wow. And of course, there's something which has happened to many youth. Actually, it happened to me a while ago. Like when they say people think you're doing well, your business is doing good, all the banks come running.
Yes.
Why is it like that?
Banks operate with monies that are owned by people.
Yes.
If people didn't put their money in the bank,
Yes.
the banks would not run.
Yes.
If today, Mr. Mwanda, we want to fail all the banks and financial institutions in this country, kila mtu atoe pesa yake.
Bank imefunga.
Bank itafunga very early in the morning.
Yes.
But now, since they operate with the monies that are with other people, that's why they come looking after you, because you have the money. They need the money
Yes.
to give to other people. They need the money to take to treasury bonds.
Yes.
They need the money to offer other people loans so that they can also make money.
Okay.
Yes, that's why they come looking after you. They don't come looking after you because you cannot keep your money.
Okay.
They don't come looking after you because they like you or they love you too much.
Yes.
They want your money so that they can invest. Yes.
Is it true that they say the bank gives you money after proving you don't need it?
Not even the bank.
Yes.
Even in life,
Yes.
the best client that you'll ever get is a client that shows you they don't need that item.
Yes.
Because now you'll be forced to prove why they need that item.
Yes.
And the mentality of selling maybe our products to the wealthy people.
Yes.
Wealthy people, you have to prove to them why they need that product. They don't even ask you the price, but you have to substantiate and explain why is that product important to them.
Okay.
That is basic. That is life.
Okay.
It is a law that it should be taught in business.
Yes.
That you have to explain to someone and also make that person need your item so that they can buy.
Okay.
Yes.
So good. So we have a question from Adiel Mugambi. Buying an apartment or building? Which is a better option?
Now, let's start with, we'll discuss both shortly. We can start with buying an apartment. Buying an apartment, we have 3 things involved.
Yes.
We have land buying first. That is getting the land first to your side.
Yes.
That is the first cost.
Yes.
That cost of buying land comes with 2 problems.
Yes.
You might buy land that does not exist. You might buy land that has a case. The farm is under the land or the farm is under caveat. You might buy land that also has been sold to 5 people. It happens a lot in this country, in this town apparently. Unanunua shamba iko na mko wangapi? Watano. That is the first challenge.
Yeah.
So if you want to build, be ready for those challenges. Buying the building an apartment or building a house, where the challenge also comes in, you might not get where you want that house to be. Land is expensive, very expensive in urban areas. Very expensive. Right now, the whole of Nairobi is gone. Right now, people, if you want to buy land which is available, you go to Mala, Joska, those sides, and it's going very fast. You go to Ngong, Kiserian, that is Pastrongai. Thika Road is, I think it's fully gone. It is now, we are headed to, people are buying land as far as Kenol. People are buying land as far as Juja, past Juja, down there on the bypass. That is an example of Nairobi, for example. You will find there, on those areas that I've mentioned, it is about 30 kilometers to Nairobi. Or 25 kilometers to Nairobi. Land there is 1.5, 50 by 100. That is the average cost. So if you're supposed to build, you have to have that first. Also, the distance is 30 kilometers. You have to fight with that. We don't have a good transport system, but maybe in the future we'll have. And then now, after that, you have to go through the challenges that I've mentioned, land acquisition and everything. Then lastly, now you have to build now. If you want to buy land in the urban areas, you will part with 5, 10, 20 million. You'll buy land for 20 million, build a house of 5 million. For me, that doesn't make sense to me. So if you're building, kubali kwanza distance. You want comfort in urban areas in the city? Distance.
Yes.
The other group is the group that love apartments. The group that love apartments always know there's no space.
Yes.
So you are limited to your 3-bedroom. You are limited to your 2-bedroom.
Yes.
With your 7 million, utosheke ukae 2-bedroom yako. Kilimani, with your 10 million, 12 million, ukubali ukae small space, but near your workplace.
Yes.
So it's a choice, it's a balance.
Yes.
You sit down, look at the benefits, look at the disadvantages, look at the merits, look at the demerits.
Apartment.
How much are we doing at Kilimani?
Kilimani for 1 bedroom now.
And they didn't even build a house. So for me also, I'd advise people who are at diaspora and you're listening to us, it's always better to look for a company that is doing housing projects. They can build for you. It's cheaper. You can follow up the projects online and help you do online, not advertisements, but online follow-ups with them. I think that would work. And it would be a good area whereby you'll avoid a lot of issues. Kesi mingi.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, whenever a client comes to me and they ask me, do I buy land and build, or do I buy something which is ready-made? Me, I always tell them, if you don't have the expertise,
Yes.
if you don't have the time, please,
Leave it.
by all means,
Leave
it to the experts. Go choose something
Yes.
and buy, and buy and go live in it.
True.
Like last week, we had an architect here, Frank, who was telling me when building, they are almost becoming marriage counselors, since the husband and wife cannot agree
On the design.
On the design.
On the color.
Yeah, maybe the wife wants a bigger kitchen.
Yes.
The husband wants a bigger
bigger
bedroom. A bigger, playing area,
Yes.
compound, stuff like that. They can't agree on design.
True.
So actually, I've met some couples who disagreed on design and they end up buying. They say, hey,
I also have a story of the same.
yes.
Like a couple disagreed on the design of the house.
Yes.
The woman says she doesn't want that house.
Yes.
She will buy her own house.
Yes. Wow.
You can imagine
Darling.
that cost. So also the man was forced to leave the other house
Yes.
and join the wife in the other house.
In a house.
Yes.
Wow.
I can imagine. But now I have a question. Tell me about, you guys are building in the urban areas,
Yes.
apartments.
Yes.
Who holds the title?
Oh, the title is owned communally. The people who own apartments,
Yes.
they have a share in the mother title. Yeah, so that's why they are given a 99-year lease, sublease
Okay.
from the main title.
Yes.
So whenever you build apartments, you form a management company. Let's say like Sunpark,
Yes.
Syokimau.
Yes.
Now the mother title in Sunpark, Syokimau. So each apartment owner is a shareholder in that title.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
So we'll take the last question before we go on a break from Fred Mudomi. What affordability rules applied by lenders to determine what is a sustainable level of mortgage for a borrower?
Two things: interest rates, time of payment.
Yes.
The longer the time, the more the interest. The longer the shorter the time, the shorter the interest. That is what they apply.
Okay.
So if you take a mortgage 30 years, you'll pay low interest rates. Maybe we can say 10 to around 15%, something like that.
Okay.
For a short time. The longer the period, you'll get these guys will even give you a mortgage rate 80, 70%. Unfortunately. Yes. Upload that an apartment, you're in that business.
Yeah.
An apartment that would have costed you a client maybe 1.5 or let's say 3 million.
Yeah.
By the time they're paying for 30 years, I am sure they'll be paying around 6, 7, 8 billion.
Okay.
So Kenyans also should know it's always easier. If you have the money, take shorter paying terms. Periods, yeah. Take them because you take a property and pay for 30 years.
Yeah.
Taste and preferences will change.
Yes.
By the time you're finishing to pay in 30 years, you'll be 45. You'll not even 45. You'll be 60 years. You started maybe paying at 30.
Okay.
At 60 years, the designs and stuff has changed in life. Again, you'll have to acquire another property. Okay. So if you can afford and if you can make it pay your installments faster, it's easier.
Okay.
Yes, it's always easier.
Okay. And what's the percentage? For example, a household income, let's say it's 100,000.
Yes.
What would be the comfortable percentage of a mortgage?
Basically, we advise 30%.
Yes.
The economy right now is a bit hard. 30% is next to impossible because if you're earning 100,000, you should pay around 32,000 Kenya shillings. It is becoming next to impossible.
Yeah.
But now, what I would advise people is if you can pay a mortgage of a house that you live in,
Yes.
that is very workable. Because the money you will be paying for rent is the money you pay for the mortgage.
Yes.
So that's you cut one cost down.
Yeah.
But now most of us here in the city, we pay house rent. You want to stay in Kilimani,
Yes.
but you're paying a mortgage of a house in Syokimau.
Okay.
What happens? You have two rents at the same time.
Yeah.
The house at Kilimani, at Syokimau, you rent it out at, they're cheap there, basically. 3-bedroom there, you get it around 30, 40.
Yes.
Because most of them are deep inside there. So even the money that you get in from the rent, it's not even enough to pay your mortgage. It's not enough to pay your installment. So
Yes.
if you would, hamia Syokimau bwana, lipa nyumba yako ukikaa wapi? Ukikaa pale. It would make things a bit easier.
Okay.
Yes.
And by the end of the day, it ends up becoming yours.
Yes, it's your house. So
Yes.
why should you be paying for it when you're staying in the city? Then after you retire, now that's when you want to go stay there.
Yes.
You go stay there, pay your mortgage from there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, like Sandpark, the rent amount is 70,000 per month for a 3-bedroom.
Yes.
For mortgage amount is 79,000.
Yes.
So would you rather buy or rent?
It's better you rent to buy.
Yeah.
That's what you call it. You rent to buy. You pay the rent as 79, but
no, you pay the
basically
mortgage. If you take a mortgage, it's 79,000
yes, a month.
But if you rent,
Yes.
it's 70,000.
Now it's better you take 79,000
Yes.
as you pay.
Yes.
You'll own the house by the end of the day.
Yes.
Other than paying 70,000 and you'll not own that house.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
But most Kenyans will not listen to us because we have not learned that. But they'll learn it the hard way,
Yeah.
which I don't like it because you'll have that house for 70,000. You'll pay that house rent for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, 70,000 per year. It is times 12. It's going to about 800,000.
Yeah.
Times 5 years, it's about 6-7 million.
Yeah.
That house you'd have owned it. Then productivity declines.
Yeah.
This house that you're paying 70,000 rent, Mr. Mwenda, at 35 years old, by the time you are 45 years old, or let's say by the time you're 55 years old, your productivity will be low.
Yeah.
You might not be able to afford a house for
Yeah.
70,000. So it's always easier just rent as you buy.
Yes.
Unalipa rent lakini ni kama unanunua nyumba itakuwa yako.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Now we'll come back and talk about retirement.
Good.
We'll talk about why do people fear the word mortgage. So we'll be right back. Please send your questions. We'll be right back with David Mwangi, financial expert, teaching us matters finance. See you in a few.
Thank you.
Hi, so now welcome to Sun Residence, right behind more of the residence's bedroom, finished to unbelievable standard with so many amenities, it is ridiculous. What I love about this place These are the spaces in between the apartments. As you can see, there's literally privacy guaranteed. This is the outside and it's already so impressive. But what does the interior look like? I want us to go and meet Anne, who's going to take us through what the interior of these amazing apartments look like. Why just yes as well? This is Sand Park Residences.
My name is Anne from Mindspace Properties.
Nikakaribisha na hiki tu nikidhani watu wanapima weight na kumbe wadosi hatuangi viatu. Wana wrap footwear. Ana kanikaribisha akaanza kunipatia tours. Nikapatana na mkubwa wa hapa. Huku kumbe inaitwa Sun Park. Unaishi kama mdosi. Sasa huku Sun Park wamejenga manyumba smart. Ni nyumba yako lakini unaishi ni kama huku kwa hotel. Mama yo. Na hii sio 12 star hotel. Ni nyumba tu unachukua unaishi ndani. Ona mpaka iko na balcony. Na unaona bado wanajenga. Yenyewe hii ni luxury living. Unaona usuri ya pesa. Na ujue unaweza lipa kidogo. About this.
Yes.
Naona ile pesa tulikuwa tuna savings kwa bank.
My goodness. What a
Naona tununue nyumba.
What? Those are savings.
Pesa inaishi kwa bank, sisi tunaishi nje.
I am lecturing.
Na ujue bado wanajenga. Ona vile ndani inakaa. Wako na 3 na 1 bedroom pia. Kuona ni bure. Na hii ni ndani tu. Nje ujue pia wako na gym. Wanajenga swimming pool. Haki pesa wewe nikikushika. Nashika nyumba. Na washika nyinyi wote wawili. Ona hii ni bedroom. Ona. Lolo mama yu nyasai ubura. Ndio maana huku inaitwa Sun Park. Ni kusign tu. Maisha London huku sio Kimau yawa. Na waliniambia tu unatoa 20% alafu hiyo ingine unaweza lipa kidogo na
Okay, David.
Yes.
We have a few questions from. I have a question from Fidelia Jenga.
Okay.
I believe that's a diaspora listener.
Yes.
Please ask David, what would you advise someone living abroad in regards to investment in property in Kenya?
Okay. Yes. 2 things. Let's start about the story of living abroad. Most people living abroad would like to invest in this country. They would like to go look for the money, come back after some years, live a well-made life. That is a good life that they left. Yeah. Because there's no need you live here as a hustler, you come back here as a hustler. It doesn't make sense. So most of the people want to go there, improve life, and improve life here. So you've gone abroad. For example, let me give an example of Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Or America, or you've gone to America, or you've gone to the UK, and you want to come back. Most of the times when you're building in this country, you will send your money to your family and to your friends. It's unfortunate that in this current world that we are in, family and friends are not trustworthy. Maybe in your family you'll trust maybe 30% of the people. And also you'll have to pay them to do your work, because also they'll not do your work and not do their work. So you'll have to pay them. I would advise this, Fidelia. I would advise use companies that do real estate. For example, we have, like now, I am with the director of Mindspace. I've seen what they do. I've seen their website. I've seen their clientele. And I can tell you, even if you work with them, even if you deposit your money, at least they'll work for you. You'll be able to follow the project from start. You'll be able to follow the project as it goes and as you pay. And that brings what you call reliability. Your money will be safe. because they're doing many units and because they have been doing it for a long time, such people will give you a good cost. They'll have good fundis, reliable fundis. They will have expertise who do the same work, same day, every day. So you'll get a good house, you'll get quality. And I'm so sure costs like building, the sketching costs and maps costs, they take care of that. They will take care of the land issues, as we had said. They will fight for, in case the land has an issue, they are the ones responsible in court. So I think sometimes I would prefer someone who is abroad to work with companies or properties that build the houses. Also, they'll avoid the headache. The headache of you calling daily, asking, fundi leo wamejenga kosi ngapi? Fundi leo wamemwaga lori ngapi za mchanga? Those are the issues that we want to avoid. Okay. You're in America, not the life, but the time differences are too bad. I think it is 10, 12 hours. You call someone is in Australia, you have to call Kenya, ask about how your mjengo is going. Those are headaches that we should all avoid in life. Yeah. So it's always good sometimes to look for a trustable, people who can do your project management calmly, people who won't give you a headache, and people who are cost effective. Okay. Yes.
Yes, most people in diaspora, they send maybe their parents. Actually, many people make that mistake.
Yes.
They say you send your mother money because she's the most trusted. Then you tell her to do a building for you. Of course, she doesn't have exposure in building.
True.
So the first person she calls is the fundi, the village fundi, to build a story building. And of course, there's no food who will say no, because there's money. This is business.
Yes.
So it's always good to use experts. It's very important.
Very true.
And also to add on to that is, if you are out there in the diaspora, when it comes to investment, I mean, there's no better investment than real estate.
Yes.
By the end of if you buy an apartment, you're making rent. If you buy some land, it's appreciating. Vis-a-vis, like, for example, somebody who lives in America and they want to set up a shop here. And of course, they have no control. And business has to be besat to grow.
Yes.
And there's nobody who will grow business for you.
Yes,
basically,
nobody.
It's about you. So I always advise guys out there, even me, I lived in America, so I know what it means to own real estate. You come, you have your property there, and using experts, using lawyers, using surveyors, using valuers to ascertain the values. And then, when you come and you get started, you can sell some of to finance your business when you're here. I've seen many people, like, when you are 1 foot in America, 1 foot in Kenya, they rarely become successful.
You cannot. If you try, you are in America, coming to supervise your project in this country already is around 2% of the cost of the project. For example, let's say you're building a house of 10 million Kenya shillings. Yeah. You coming 3 times to see how your house is proceeding and progressing. How much is that? It's around it's right now it's going to around 600,000, 700,000. Yeah. The 3 times that you'll have come here. That is enough maybe for furniture. Yeah. So to avoid that headache, I always tell people, you get a financier, get the money, pay to, you don't even have to charge the money. You can even organize with the financier to pay directly to the company that is responsible to do the houses for you. It becomes easier. Yes.
Good. So I have a question here from Daniel Mugambi. How do you finance a real estate investment?
Two people will assist on that. The banks will assist on that. Most banks are doing that right now.
Yes.
They're financing the houses, financing mortgage. The other persons that are doing that also are SACCOs.
Yes.
We cannot ignore the far that SACCOs have brought this issue of financing.
Yes.
SACCOs are able to collect a lot of money, and their interests are very low.
Yes.
Their loans are more accessible.
Yes.
They will not ask you to be their member for a long time.
Yes.
They'll only ask you for a few savings, maybe 3, 4, 5 months. They'll ask you for guarantors. They are easier to work with. The other alternative, the agency that is building the house, the agency that is giving you the mortgage, they also have financial options. That is the best to deal with because they have been dealing with those clienteles and they have been dealing with that financial institution more more times. So it becomes very easy, and it is more straightforward. Yes.
Okay, good.
More straightforward, and even if you are unable to pay your mortgage on time, there are ways that they negotiate. They can decide, let us sell. You are unable to pay a house in Kilimani. Let us. I'm sure you have that system. If you're unable to pay this house in Kilimani, let us transfer the amount you've paid. We can do a house for you in Rongai. I think you have such options.
Yes.
Because in life, you'll find that someone wanted to do a house of 15 million, they've paid like 7 million.
Yeah.
They're unable to pay from there. What happens next? That should be your question.
Yeah.
If someone, for example, is taking a house in Kilimani, 15 million, they're unable to pay, they have paid 7 million. What do you do with that person? Most of the companies I see, they can give you an option. But now, if you go alone, without the financing, with the financial being close to the owner or being close to the company that is doing the housing, the mortgage for you, that's where you hit rock bottom. Because they'll be forced to sell to return their money.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for us, like in real estate development, of course, we have seen much of that.
Yes.
But one thing I've understood with finance, or to finance a real estate project, of course, number one, you can't start projects from zero.
Yes.
Thinking you'll get pre-sale and build with people's money.
Yes.
So what I've learned from real estate in a hard way, very hard way. Number one, you must own the land.
Yes.
Number two, if you're envisioning a project for whatever amount of money, you have to have 50% of that money. By the time you're talking to a financier or pre-sale,
At
you're
least
already
you moved.
halfway, and you have the showroom ready.
Yes.
I think that's from sharing from my
Experience.
real life experiences. And quick one, budgeting. How
Okay.
important is it? Very quickly, we are out of time.
Okay. Budgeting, we can describe and explain that as a financial plan.
Yes.
We can start from whereby we had talked about what percentage are you able to raise. For example, if you're doing a mortgage.
Yes.
If we are talking about a mortgage of 5-6 million shillings, how much are you able to raise? Your salary is let's say 90,000. How much are you able to raise? If you're able to raise 30%, well and good. That is the best. That is the best percentage that you can give to a mortgage company.
Yeah.
And now you have to calculate two things. You have to calculate from behind. You have to know if you want to pay this house in 30 years, which is very long. You have to maybe check other options like 15 years. I'm sure you guys have such options. By 15 years, you'll pay less interest, and also in the same 15 years, you'll pay a higher premium, but at least you'll finish it easily. Also, look at the other thing: get a house that you can afford. Because you've been told to pay 50,000 every month, don't take a house of 20 million, 15 million. Why? Two things. There's something we call uncertainty. You never know what will happen. You've taken a loan. Not a loan really, but a mortgage, you pay all your money, you don't save your money. If anything happens, you have no money for any other engagements. If anything happens to you, you will lose that house. Yeah. So it's easier, take a cheaper house, out of the streets, out of town, no problem. Pay it in the shortest time possible. Yeah. Try as much as possible. In your productive years, in between that is 30 and around 45, 50, make sure you finish that loan. Yeah. Those are your productive years. Okay. Make sure you have a house by then. Don't start struggling. By the time you're 60, you're still paying a mortgage. Okay. You will die because the pressure will still be the same. And you'll be unable to give because the productivity level will be low. Number two, when you look at the financial plan, also make sure that you've secured enough education for your children before you. Make sure that the money that you're giving, if it is 30%, make sure you have something for your children and for your family. Yeah, don't also live a poverty-stricken life as you're progressing and you're looking forward to a house. You may not reach there. Look at your health. Look at other investments. Try get another what you call a side hustle that can be paying the loan. Always try that. Try to get something that can give you a subordinate idea that can be giving you some money. Okay. Yes.
Oh, good.
I think that can work.
Perfect. Now, finally, retirement planning. Let me tell you something I experienced.
Yes, tell
we
me.
manage real estate. As Mindspace Properties, we manage real estate. So whenever somebody comes, let's say a client comes to me, be like, let's say, when I was in Mombasa,
Yes.
they used to work at the KPA, Kenya Ports Authority.
Yes.
Let's say this guy lives in Nyali, he was paying a rent of like 150,000.
Yes.
So the guy comes excited, telling me now I've retired, and now I have time to think about myself and stuff like that.
Yes.
So the first thing, of course, I tell him, now you know this house for 150,
Yes.
you'll not afford it.
Yes.
So now I have to get you something, maybe for 50,000.
Yes.
Or I get you an apartment.
Yes.
Hey, they jump. Or I get you somewhere like Bamburi or Mtwapa.
Yes.
And they're living in Nyali.
Yes.
They tell you, that's where my employees live. How can I live there? So, but they refuse to move. Within a period of 3 months,
Yes.
they're already in arrears.
You will move.
Since, of course, now the salary is not...
Yes. It's not
it's
coming
maybe
in
half.
as it was.
Now you're eating pension.
Yes, only
you have
pension.
no money for rent.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's why it's very important to own, especially your own property where you live, or just an investment.
Yes.
For you, so that even when you retire, you have some income coming to
Yes.
sustain your life in
Yes.
the sunset years. Tell us a little bit about retirement planning.
Okay. I'll give also another 2 ways of doing the same. One, basically this goes to the working people, not even only those who have been employed, but also those who have employed themselves. We have to agree with one thing, that a time will come, you'll be old, you will retire, and you will go home. That is one of the realities that you cannot lie to yourself. You can keep lying that days are not moving, but by the end of the day, you're getting old, you're growing old. A time will come, you will not be productive anymore. The world, the environment will dismiss you. Now the question is, are you ready, and how much? How are you planning for your retirement? How much are you planning? We always advise, always save 10% for your retirement. But if you can do better, you can do 20. 10% of your retirement every month. If you earn 100,000, always keep 10,000 for your retirement.
Yes.
This saving should not be touched. In fact, if you're not doing mortgage, put it in a fixed account that you can only access it maybe. Right now, we are doing life insurance. Most banks are doing life insurance. Most agencies, insurances are doing life insurance. Life insurance is whereby you pay the premiums, and then they'll give you an interest after 10 years. ABSA is doing it. So many banks are doing it. We also have cooperatives doing it. We have DTBs doing it. We have so many financial institutions doing it. The only challenge is the Kenyan will always think, if I pay my 10,000 shillings to the bank for 10 years, they'll give me probably 4-5 million or maybe 3 million. Now the Kenyan will always say, how much money will they have made with my money? But now you don't have that money. What you can do is save your small money. You shouldn't ask what the bank will do with your money. When you get to 10 years, you can get the money out. Maybe you can take it to bonds. Maybe you can buy a house. That makes sense for your retirement. Because every Kenyan, when you're 60, you don't want a landlord to be knocking at your door.
Yes.
When you're 55, you don't want a Kenyan landlord to be knocking at your door. Imagine, Mr. Mwenda, right now, how Kenyans are stressed by rent. And they're only 45 years and below. Imagine you at 60, then someone knocks at your door for rent.
Wow.
You will freeze.
So you go back to the village.
You will go, but now the village even also, you have to have built in the village.
Oh,
Whose house will you go to stay?
Exactly.
With the current world right now, where will you go to stay in the village?
Yeah.
You have not built anything. You have not invested anything. So if you're doing a retirement plan, try as much as possible. Those who are working and maybe probably they're being paid right now, always know there's a time when the sun rises, and also the sun has to go down.
Yes.
When the sun is going down, make sure you're happier than when the sun was rising. Yes. So if you can save, jifinyilie, save 10%.
Okay.
Yes. 10%.
For retirement.
For retirement. Make sure that is for retirement.
Najua maboi wengi kuambia retirement wanadhani
Najua sasa najua tunalive vile inaitwa YOLO. You only live once.
Yes.
You don't know when you die, you don't know. But let me tell you, God might decide to punish you and make you live 80 years.
80 years.
And you have nothing in the
Hauna
pocket.
kakitu.
Unajaribu kufa ukufi, Mr. Mwenda. And you would have saved. You would have saved. Unajaribu kufa hata ukufi kwa sababu na hukusave. That is a very hard punishment.
Yes.
So I would advise our young men, save 10%. Come to Mr. Mwenda here. He will give you a house. Buy the house. You can sell it later.
Yes.
Mr. Mwanda will give you a house for 6-7 million.
Yes.
The next 30 years, that house, I'm very sure, betting that house will be around 20 million.
Yes.
Yes. Those are good retirement plans.
Exactly. Thank you.
So tukienda sherehe hii ya weekend, since leo ni Thursday, kesho ni sherehe. Mtu weke 10%,
10% apeleke kwa pasta
ama
aweke.
Kama una pasta pelekea, letea pasta Mwenda. Akuwekea kwa investment.
So, thank you.
Yes.
So now, I'm sure there are many of our viewers today, the people who have been with us for the whole show, and maybe they would like to reach out to you for financial advice.
Yes.
Being an expert in finance.
Yes.
How can they reach you?
Okay. You can reach me through my social media. Basically, hapo ndio niko sana. My Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What did I say? Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. All of them are Honorable David Mwangi. Hon David Mwangi. Yes, you can reach me there. We'll talk. Usikuja kuniambia hi. Write me hi and tell me what you're asking me because nilikuwa pia nimesimama kiti. Watu wanaweza kuwa pia wananiomba lunch wengi hapo ndani. Wanasema hi Muhesh. Don't call me Muhesh. You just ask me a question. I think I'll type personally. Yes. Personally, I'll be able to advise where I can. Okay. Wherever I am not also able to advise, I'm able to refer. Okay. Yes, I'm able to refer to people who also are higher than me, people who also understand finance more than me. Yes, but sisi vijana wa youth tusaidiane. Okay. Yes, it's about financial literacy. It's about civic education and matters finance. It's about that. Yes, it's about knowledge. Pass the knowledge. I think someone once told me it costs nothing to pass knowledge to another person. Exactly. And also the person still said if it costs nothing for a candle to light another candle. Yes.
And the iron sharpens another iron.
Yes.
The way you have sharpened me.
You have also sharpened me. I think I should come and invest in real estate.
Yes, karibu my space.
But I have a question for you before you close. Tell me about malls.
Mall? Oh, the mini malls.
Yes. I've been seeing you doing malls all over.
Yes.
This country. And I asked someone, what is the return of investment, ROI of these malls? Explain to me just maybe in 1 minute.
Okay, of course, retail real estate, it has the highest rate of return. If you look at, for example, residential real estate, the return is 6%, if you are lucky, 7%.
Yes.
For commercial, maybe like offices, we are looking at around 8%. For furnished units, we are looking between, if it goes high, it's about 11%. But for commercial real estate, the return we are talking about 15%. Of course, it's expensive since you need to have a good location for you to do anything commercial.
Yes.
Of course, those commercial lands are not cheap, but they have the best rate of return. Now, like for my town, of course, we have a vision to do 50 of them all over the country.
Nice.
And of course, we are building them, selling them. Soon we'll be forming a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust, whereby people will be able to invest in that.
Okay.
To make it an investment vehicle with high return.
Yes.
Yes.
And can people invest in groups? For example, people living, for example, in Chicago, they want to invest in this country. Is there that avenue whereby people can bring their money and they do like a mall?
Yes,
then
of course.
Does your company have the ability to manage the incomes after you've built? Or you just build, you leave it at that?
No, of course, we do real estate management. It's our one line of our business. And of course, we can't leave you hanging.
You don't have to leave me hanging with my structure.
I don't know.
Where we get the landlord to give the houses to, or to sell the houses to, or the tenants to take the houses.
Actually, we have the network for when it comes to getting the right tenants.
Yes.
And the beauty of it in the commercial real estate, the minimum lease is 6 years.
Yes.
Not like a house where you lease for 1 year.
Yes.
Then you move to another one.
Yes.
So when you have tenants, I mean, every year you have to be looking for maybe another tenant. And again, in the commercial real estate, you realize you have to, you don't have to go fixing toilets and what.
Yes.
There's one common toilet which is maintained and cleaned.
Okay.
But when in a residential,
service
when it
charge
happens, caretaker, puja, cho, dirisha imevunjika.
Yes.
In the commercial real estate, you don't have that.
Yeah, because you find that in most residential, the service charge
Yes.
is a constant of maybe 10,000 to 15,000. Now you wonder, someone bought already the house, but they still pay an amount that is equivalent to another small one-bedroom rent elsewhere.
Exactly.
But at least, I think with your house, that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course,
Okay.
you know, service charge is audited
Yes.
by the tenant.
Oh,
In
okay.
case, if you're paying service charge somewhere, by the end of the year, you need to get the statement to know how the money was used.
Okay.
Since, I mean, that's not
Okay.
income to the landlord.
Nice.
That's money for services
Yes.
to pay askari, garbage correction,
Yes.
common area lighting,
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Good. That is reliability. Thank you.
Reliability.
Yes.
So thanks a lot,
You're
David.
welcome.
Thank you. It was nice having you here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll tag him here. If
Yes.
you want to reach him on, you can write to him.
Yes.
Ingia kwa DM. Cheza
Hapo
kwa
cheza kwa
DM.
DM. Na usiniambie hai upotee, niambie cha unataka huko.
Ukuje, unataka watu serious.
Serious tu. Ukiniambia hai sasa nitashindwa, nitajibu hai mpaka saa ngapi? Andika hai, andika chenye statement.
Kenya unataka. Alright. Na utamjibu.
Takujibu personally.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. So thank you so much for being with us all that time. And I see our time is up. I'll see you next week, same time, and we have a surprise for you on Thursday. You can't afford to miss. See you then.